Do you ever feel like a plastic bag, floating in the wind, stuck on free code camp? I know I did, and by the sounds of it, so did Katy Perry, so maybe this will help. Welcome to Parv Tech, I'm Alex Parvis, and today I'll be telling you my story about how I became a software developer without a computer science degree. Quick disclaimer, I do actually have a degree, but my degree is in philosophy from a British university, so for the purposes of this video, I'm degreeless when it comes to becoming a software developer. So my software development journey began in 2014. I thought it'd be a good idea for me to learn to make iPhone apps. So of course, I decided that I was going to learn Objective-C as my first language, which for those of you who use it or have tried to learn it, probably would agree it's not the most beginner-friendly language for somebody who has no computer science background whatsoever. Between the years 2014 and 2017, I wasted a lot of time flitting between languages, trying to find the cheat codes to allow me to become a software developer instead of just pushing through the pain points. So over that 3-year period, I did an Objective-C course on Treehouse, didn't finish it. Python 2.7 course on Coursera, didn't finish it. Then back to Treehouse again and Free Code Camp, and I was doing the web stack, and I was just all over the place. I never really got into fundamentals of coding because I was stuck trying to find the easy way. Like with anything worth doing, you have to stick with the pain points and push through in order to improve at it. You can't just expect that you're going to be able to switch to a slightly different language or a slightly different framework or a different course on the same subject and avoid that pain point. I can give you an example of this. I remember being stuck on nested looping. I just hadn't got that pattern in my head yet. And really this is all about problem solving and repetition of patterns until they become second nature. So I was stuck on nested looping. I couldn't think in terms of a loop inside of a loop. So instead of pushing through that pain point, I decided that I was going to drop Objective-C and move to Python. The problem with this is, of course, the issue came up again in the Python course. Yeah, of course it came up again. It came up because those lists that you would loop over and then loop over the items inside again, that existed in Python. And of course it existed in JavaScript and all those other things. So the main rookie issue that I'd like to get across to you is that it's normal to be stuck and you need to push through the pain points, and it's okay to ask for help and things like that, but just know that it's about repetition and it's about problem solving. And if you've got a good problem solving mind, you just need to get the repetitions in. I think pretty much anyone can get these fundamentals. You don't have to be some kind of genius to do it. You just have to have the resilience to push through and to actually debug and get through things. So yeah, that was my main issue. My main issue was I was flitting between courses and I was looking for an easy out when really I should have just stuck with one language, stuck with one platform and got on with learning the actual hard stuff. It doesn't matter what language you move to or what framework you move to, you're still going to have to eventually tackle your fundamentals in conditionals and looping. Every C-based programming language has both these things, so you're going to need them regardless. So we get 3 years in, so I've gone from 24 to say 27, I think at this point, and I can do FizzBuzz, I can do a few things, but I'm not employable, I can't do anything meaningful. And I really needed to make a change in order to make this a reality if I was going to become a developer. During this period of self-teaching, one of the best things I did was I started going to physical meetups in the city I was living in. I got to meet real coders and talk to them about real projects that they were doing. Not only that, but it made it real in my mind. It was no longer just some abstract academic problem that I was solving in Treehouse's inbuilt code editor. I was actually able to talk to people about bugs that they were fixing, projects they were making. They could even show me the code that they'd written. This was real stuff that people were doing for real money. One of the people I met at these meetups was an instructor at a local bootcamp who taught the web stack. And this was probably one of the biggest things for me, because after he spoke to me for about 20 minutes about the program, and admittedly I had thought about it and I had heard of them before, I'd been on the website, but I had never taken the leap. Once I'd spoken to him, I signed up to the course because I needed that structure, because I wasn't disciplined enough to push through those pain points on my own. Yeah, you see, the thing is, without somebody there to discipline me, I wasn't going to push through those things. I had to learn those skills, the skills to be a self-starter. The job I finally landed at the end of the course was with a startup, and I got some fantastic mentorship, and I never would have got that job if I hadn't had the immersion of being on the bootcamp. There was just no way that Alex, who was self-teaching, was ever going to perform to that standard. It really was worth the money to me. And I know this might not be popular on YouTube because there are many creators on here that will tell you that you can just self-learn, and to be fair, there are many people that can. But to the people that are struggling and can't, a bootcamp is definitely something I believe you should consider because I've lived it and it changed my life. For the scope of this video, I'm not going to get into choosing bootcamps, but I think that's a video that I might make soon. Being a software developer really is about getting that first year. Once you have that first year, you have the credibility, you have the pre-selection of being employed in the industry. That first year is the hardest and most important year in your software development career. Once you have that, the whole world opens up to you. The skills are super in demand, and if it takes investing in a bootcamp in order to get there, I damn well think it's worth it. So that's my story. Messed around for a few years, eventually committed to a bootcamp, and if I could go back to 2014, I'd just tell myself, get on a bootcamp ASAP and cut those 3 years out. The takeaways: don't flip between things. You need to sit down and you need to commit. I recommend HTML, CSS and JavaScript. It's pretty beginner friendly and it's got a massive employment market when you get out. You can learn all kinds of awesome frameworks, and you can even write backends in JavaScript now as well. So the whole world is your oyster with that. It's not the only way to do it, but it's the way I would do it now. If you've got the discipline and willpower, you can self-teach, but if not, bootcamp is the way to go. Get it done in 3 months, really commit to it and enjoy the process, and start to get on the curve, because once you can make meaningful things in the browser, you'll have ideas as to things you want to make, and then you become self-motivated. Once you're self-motivated, learning things becomes a pleasurable experience. So here I am today, 5 or so years out, got my own limited company, and I work as a contractor in the UK. I get to work for all kinds of different businesses, writing fun code, and it's just super varied, and I've met so many great people in this industry. I couldn't recommend it any more highly, and if you're on your journey, I hope this is helpful and good luck. See you in the next video.